Hi there. It's the Pikes Peak Library weekly presentation of chair yoga. I'm Loretta. Thanks for coming. Let's start by doing one chant of Ohm, just to set the energy for the program so that we're all vibrating at the same level. Let's begin with one deep breath in. Let it all out. Deep breath in for sound. Thanks. I'm a little nervous today, but I'm going to work right through that and hope that we have a great time together today. Listen, one thing I wanted to say before we get started is for you to take your time and do whatever we're doing, the poses, the positions, the warm-ups, do them for your body in a way that makes sense for you. If you've got problems with parts of your body, stretch them minor or however much you can move them. If you can't move that part of your body, please just concentrate on sitting tall and breathing. Breathing is the most important thing we can learn here today. Learning how to breathe and move at the same time. Your breath can take you anywhere and get you out of anything that your body can put you in if you take the time, slow down, breathe deeply, and remember you're an elegant, strong, loving being of this universe. And when you do that, your heartbeat will shift, you'll calm down, and you can do anything. And I mean anything. So with that in mind, let's stop and focus on our breath. Take some really good breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Let's take a few more. You can gently close your eyes if you like. Couple more deep breaths until you feel your heartbeat shift just a little. And slow you down. And bring you into your body. Drop your shoulders. Begin to relax. One more really deep breath. Thanks. Now let's sit on the edge of our chair. Bring yourself forward. Center yourself. The chair is now your connection to the earth. Your feet are on the ground, but your real connection to the earth is your bottom and sitting. And like I said, the connection to the earth begins at your feet, but it comes all the way up through your body and stabilizes you at every point. So let's begin with our arms. Arms up, arms down. See if you can coordinate your breath with it. When we bring our arms into the equation, we begin to open the chest and the heart and your upper torso. On your next down, let's come out and in, and out and in. And I'm trying to keep these beginning things each week pretty much the same so that you can get the comfort of knowing where we're going to go in the beginning. Now bring your arms up and prayer hands, bring them down. Up and down. Like I say, coordinate your breath with it. And come on back. Let's begin with some goddess circles. And that entails using your ribs, articulating, bringing it to the back, to the side, to the front, and to the side. And let's do a few of these. Let's get our body moving just a little. One more to the back. And change directions. I love yoga so much. I hope you know that. What I love about yoga the most is that when I first started moving, my body was so stiff and so uncoordinated. I felt almost in back and forward, almost as if I couldn't trust it to do what I wanted it to do, because I kept tripping and falling and dropping things and being stiff and sore. And it wasn't that much fun being in this body. I have to tell you, I've been doing yoga for about 7 years. Took my teacher training last year, and you see what a difference it's made in my life. I now have fluidity, not always, but mostly. Come on back to center. And let's take our hands and put them on the top of our shoulders. And we're gonna do some side-to-side crunches. Now, we're not gonna round our back at all. We're just gonna go directly to the side, up, directly to the side. This will start our side-to-side movements so that we can do our side bends and our body doesn't feel shocked by us starting too quickly. Drop one hand down to the seat of your chair, your left hand. Bring your right hand up, bring it close to your ear. Feel the line of energy. I always say that because it's important that you understand that everything we're doing is about moving your energy through your body so that you can gain access to movement. Stuck energy, well, you've all experienced it. When our energy's stuck, we don't feel like doing anything. Come on back up. Go to the other side. Lift it up. And sometimes just the smallest amount of movement makes all the difference in the world. Because it's opening those channels where we're clogged. To me, that's what yoga is. And it's about the joy of trusting my body. All right, let's take our right hand, bring it over to the back. These are all things you're familiar with our workout. Bring your left hand over to your right knee. Gently shake your head just so you know you're feeling loose. We're going to move from the center. Deep breath in and move. Turning. Using our core. When I first started coming to yoga, I didn't understand what the core was. I knew everybody had one, but I didn't know what mine was. And let me share with you after this. Let's go ahead and turn and breathe into it. Your core starts at your shoulders and it girdles all the way down to your hips. And you're supported by this whole body throughout in your core. It pertains, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing, but I think it's important that you understand that we're moving from the center when we move with yoga. And we're incorporating every single part of our body that is affiliated with whatever we're moving. Come on back to center. Let's take a forward fold, beginning with our hands up, hinging at the hips and over. Drop your arms and tuck your chin. And release your head even with your shoulders. And breathe deeply. And roll yourself back up, one vertebrae at a time, with your head being the very last thing to come up. And let's go to Tadasana, the mountain pose. Bring yourself up, bring your shoulders back, your hands are placed out, your chin is raised slightly, but your heart is the highest thing in the room. And I hope you know what I mean by that, meaning that your chin is relatively tucked at all times, even when your head is up. And you're breathing. And release. And now let's take our hands in front of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to expand that chest again, bringing our hands in and out. And as you come out, take a deep breath. And as you come in, make a noise. Noises are so good for yoga. One more. And come on back down and release your arms. Let's do our shoulders. I'm doing one shoulder at a time because that's automatically how it starts for me. And then bring them both in together and go clockwise. Great big shoulder shrugs. Release everything in that upper back and your neck and your shoulders. And now go the opposite direction. Keeping your breath. And come on back to center. Let's go back to our neck now and begin with gentle infinity circles. And that is a figure 8 on its side. We're just starting to move the neck, noticing if it has any twitches or pings when you do move it. Bring it on back down to center and take your chin and draw very small circles. Begin them small and then you can increase how large they become if your neck feels good. And then I'm just doing my head in circles now. This feels good to me. I'll stop in the back and go the opposite direction. Depending on how loose and free your neck feels, you might want to come back to those small circles. How does your neck feel? What I like to do is I like to take my name and I like to handwrite it across using my nose. See what you can do with your name. Use your longest version, please. Make this really work for you. I have a really long name, so it really does affect every single part of my neck when I draw it across the air. If yours doesn't, pick another name. That's all. It's not important what we do. It's important how we do it. It's the focus of breathing and moving slowly with intention. Let's begin picking up our legs. Again, this is the warm-up. You recognize it. I'm hoping it becomes very familiar to you so that you can automatically, when you come into the room, begin to feel your energy shift. Take your right leg, lift it up, hang on to it with a sling of your fingers, push it straight out, as straight as you can with your foot, like you want to put a footprint on the back wall. Sit up straight. I notice that it's important that we keep our back straight during all of these. Sometimes it's easy to slump back and do this. I was guilty of that last week when I saw the video. And I want to make sure that we're sitting up erect, and then we gently move our foot to the side. We still have a straight leg. We're still supporting it. We're breathing. And we're coming back to center now. And cross your leg over the other, still holding your leg out straight. And breathing deeply. Bring it on back to center. And then let it go. Just release it. And bring it down. Pick up the other leg. Put yourself a sling with your fingers. Straighten up your back. And push your foot like you're trying to leave a footprint somewhere. Make it as straight as you can. And bring it over. Strength and endurance, that's what we're building. And your belief in yourself that your body can do things you never imagined. And I'm not talking about pretzel kind of things. I'm talking about being there for you when you need it. When you fall, you learn. And I felt lots of times that your body has its own, and let it go. Your body has its own balancing mechanism. And when you can learn to trust it, and I'll show you that in the tree, when you can learn to trust it, your body will right itself more often than not. Let's pick up your leg again, your right leg. Place your hand as securely as you can in terms of holding it and giving it stability. And let's open up those hips. Open up the hips by bringing it back and forth. And then bring it back to center. Take your heel, do a few circles, clockwise direction. Come to the top, stop, go the opposite direction. And bring it back. Gently bring it back down and place your foot on the ground. Bring your left leg over, put it over your knee. Gently straighten your back. Secure your arm wherever it's best. Some people like it here. I personally like to put it under. It feels safer to me somehow. And let's bring it back and forth. Opening up the glutes and the hip flexors. Now take your foot, take your heel, and gently start drawing circles in the clockwise direction. All right, now come back to the top, stop, and go the other way. And gently bring it back and bring it back and set it down. With our foot, our ankle over our knee, lift up your arms and hinge at the hips into a forward fold. You'll begin to feel this stretching your glutes and your upper thigh. Bring your hand to your foot to keep your foot firmly flexed. And come down as far as you can, tucking your chin. And breathe. Some people can come this far. Some people can come all the way over. Whatever you can do, you'll know when you've stretched as much as you can in that position, and then gently relax there. And bring your arms down and drop your head a little more. And bring yourself back up. Gently bring your leg down. Lift your left leg, bring it over your right knee. Now I'm going to straighten yourself up, right? All right. Raise your arms, coming down over, tucking your chin, and bringing it down. Support your foot. Just gently place your hand anywhere on your leg with no pressure. This bend is coming from flexing at the hips. Go ahead and drop your arms, tucking your chin at every point. And then come on back up. Put your leg back down. Let's do a couple of the circles. Goddess circles. Just kind of, for me, these help bring my back into the right position for me to do other things. So come on back to the center, leaving your hands on your knees. We're going to do some cat-cow. And it begins in cat, so tuck your chin, and arch your back, come down, and then bring your chest back, chin up. This is a cat-cow, cat-cow. Two more. Last one, make it count. And come on back to center. Now let's do some eagle arms. Well, let's do an eagle. All right, what that means is you're gonna let's do the feet first. Take your left leg, bring it over your right knee, and if you can, tuck your toes behind your leg, if you can. If not, bring your toes as close to the side of the chair, of your leg as you can. Okay? Now, in this case, we've got the left leg over the right knee. So let's take our left arm and bring it under your right arm and bring your hands up. Can you see this? I think so. Bring them up and cross them over and cross your palms if you can. And you'll see your little keyhole. Look through that keyhole. Bring your arms out forward as much as your shoulders can permit and breathe. Now gently turn your body from your core to your left and twist and breathe. Come on back to center and release the arms and release the leg. And let's do the other side. Shake your right leg. Bring it over your left knee. Tuck it behind your foot if you can, or tuck it behind your ankle if you can. Bring your arms up. Cross them over. See how this is. Bring your hands together in any way that you can. Find your picot. Bring your arms out as far away from your body as you can. Breathing. And then turn to the right. And come on back to center. Release the arms and release the legs. Come on back. Take a deep breath. And let's take a Tadasana, mountain pose. Notice how your body's beginning to feel. And then let's take our legs and bring them out, and they can be bent. I'm not making them as straight as they can be on any level. Bringing them out in front of me. Hips width apart. Remember, you can find that by putting your fists together like this and bringing them down between your feet. That should be your hips width apart. Let's take a ragdoll. Bringing your hands up, hinging at the hips, and releasing as loosely as you can. Tucking your chin. And breathe deeply. And come on back up. Let's take one more goddess circle. I keep checking the side because I want to make sure I'm including everything that I wanted to include. And come on to the front, back, stop, go the opposite direction. My teacher, Jessica Patterson, always says that if you just go and you continue one movement and you move into the next without stopping, you're just continuing the movement. The whole thing about yoga is that we're noticing how we respond and react in each pose and each situation, much just like life. Yoga is a great way to pay attention to yourself and settle into who you are. Come back to center. All right, let's take our legs, bring them out to a wide angle pose. Now, kick your heels out just a little. I don't know if you can see that, but here's how I have my heels out. We're gonna do the goddess pose, which is sitting on the edge of our chair. Our legs are far apart. Our heels are pointing towards each other and our toes are pointing out. Our heels are in. Bring your hands together, prayer position. Square yourself up and take 5 really good deep breaths. If you need to feel more stretch, bend forward just a little. Feel the release. Two more deep breaths. One more. And drop your hands. Bring your feet facing forward. What we're going to do is we're going to come down, hinging at the waist, and we're going to slide our hands down into a forward fold in a wide-legged position. So here we go. Bring your hands down your legs, move them to your feet if you can. Drop your head and relax. Bring your fists to the center, drop them to the floor. Raise your left arm and twist. This is a wide-legged straddle with the twist. Bring your arm as straight up as you can, twisting using your core muscles. One more deep breath. And come on back down. Take your other arm, lift it straight up if you can. Wide-legged straddle with the twist. And come on back down. Bring your hands back out to your feet and gently touch your body and come on back up. Straighten your clothes if you need to. Get yourself back into the center position. And let's take one more Tadasana, just so we can feel who we are standing solidly and completely. Standing, sitting solidly and completely in our own body. This is the most important thing a person can learn in, I think, that a person can learn in yoga, and that is to integrate yourself with your breath and know who you are. Deep breath. All right, take your hands, bring them to the back of your chair. You're going to do 3 pelvic tilts. 1, 2, 3. Now gently lift yourself all the way up and come into the bridge, dropping yourself, dropping your head back. I use my fists for this. Because it's much easier for me because I have really short arms. Drop. Hold it for as long as you can, and then gently bring yourself back down and shake it out. Shake it out. Just move your legs, move your arms, move your head. Come on back. Deep breath in. Now, as we're moving to our standing positions, let's begin taking a lunge on the chair, just for people who really do all the chair work here. So turn to your side, turn to your left side, your hip comes out over it, your front leg is bent, your back leg is as straight as you can possibly make it up on your toes. Okay. This is the lunge. Forward position. Come on back up. Crescent lunge. Let it go. Come on around. Let's do the other side. Come and place yourself on the right side of the chair. Your right leg is bent. The left leg is extended to its length. On your toe, forward position. Lifting your arms, bending a little. Bringing it up, high crescent lunge. And bring it down and let it go. Couple more goddess circles. Go back in the other direction. And let's come back to center and to stillness. And let's stand up. All right, let's do some of those leg strengtheners that I was showing you last time. Take your left leg out in front, your right leg right behind it. Oops. All right. Shift your hips back. Well, now this is really preparation for a triangle pose, but it's a great strengthener. So bring your hips back, you're facing forward. You can use the chair for balance and go ahead and gently fold over your leg. This is stretching the whole back of you. Your kneecap, your Achilles tendon, your thighs. Go ahead and bring it back. Bring the other foot forward. Let's do the other side. Hips are facing back. You've got the chair for balance. Go ahead and drop, tucking your chin as low as you can go, and feel the stretch all through here, all through the back side of your leg. Come on back up, bring your feet together. Let's do the bending one. Bring your left leg to the front, right leg to the back. All right, get your balance. Here we are. Now we're going to bend at the knees. Bend. See if you can do it without touching the chair. If not, no harm, no foul. Use that chair because that's what it's there for. And bring it back. Take your right leg, bring it forward, bring your left leg back a little. Again, this is bending both knees at the same time. You don't have to go all the way to the floor or anything. Get your balance. Take a deep breath. Breathe while you do it. One more. And come on back up. All right, thanks. Now we're gonna do one of my favorites, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is done from the front of your chair. Step yourself up to it. Place your hands on the chair, separating your fingers to the best of your ability as wide as they can be. Your thumb is included. It's the same equal distance as your fingers are. So, and your hands are spread. You're placing the weight into the pads of your fingers. Step back until you have flat feet as far as you can go, a flat back. Then tuck your chin, bring your ears to your shoulders, drop your shoulders and raise your rear end. Straighten your legs. One more breath. And come on forward into that plank. Bring yourself into it. Straighten yourself out. Bring your chest over your hands and look forward. Take 2 more breaths here. As you exhale, tuck your tummy button, your belly button in your tummy. Bring yourself back up. And let's take a couple of pedaling our feet here, dropping our shoulders up. Let's get the form first. Chin tucked, shoulders dropped, butt up in the air, pedal. Come on back up. And let's go into one more plank. Straighten your body out. Stretch it as far as you can. Feel the strength in your upper body holding you. And come on back up and walk yourself to your chair. Turn around. All right. What I'd like us to do, I'd like us to come, shake it out, walk to the side of your chair, and I'd like us to do some balancing. I, for one, have fairly poor balance, and I think that's part of the strengthening and the endurance is building that up. So let's move to the right side of your chair and center yourself. Here, we'll take a standing Tadasana. Get your breath. Feel the centering. And then gently begin leaning to your left leg and raise your right leg up just a little, maybe a couple inches off the floor. And let's see if you can hold this and see how your body teeters back and forth. That's how your body gains its balance. Now, for me, I use the chair. Because then if you want to turn your leg out and bring it up, you can bring it down like a kickstand, straightening the spine. You're working the leg you're standing on. Bring your leg back up, bring it around to the front, and bring it back down. Now let's take the other side. Stand up straight, start leaning into your right hand, your right leg, lifting your left leg up, holding it, feeling yourself stabilize. Some of you are not going to have any trouble with this at all, and some of us do. So just bear with us, okay? Bring your leg up a little, move it out to the side, up to your leg, and bring it on down. Bring it on down, okay? Kickstand here. You're working and strengthening the leg you're standing on. And breathe. And go ahead and bring it out. Bring it out, bring it over, and bring it down. Okay. Since we're up here, let's try a warrior three. We've all done the warrior ones and the warrior twos together. I don't think I've ever focused on the warrior three yet. Now, a warrior three, you're coming here. Warrior three is about hinging over, finding your standing leg, hinging over, and raising the other leg up. Use your chair if you need to. And just holding that leg up. Again, you're working the standing leg. If you can, go ahead and straighten that leg up a little. This is usually done with flying arms, but my balance is not as great as that. So let's make sure that if you fall out of the position, put yourself back in for just a moment so that you know you can do it. Point your toe, breathe deep, and bring your foot back down. Now let's go to the other leg again. Now you can do this higher too if you want. If this works better for you. But, all right. Starting to hinge at the hips, bending, lifting the back leg, pointing the toe. Here, let me step back just a little. When we do it higher, it's a little different. Going on to the left leg, raising your right leg, bringing it up, get your balance, point your toe, bring your head out straight. If we weren't using a chair, we'd look like Superman, kind of. Breathe deeply, bring your leg back down, come on back up, and turn around. Now, let's try one more thing. I'm gonna do the chair or the awkward pose. That gets done with bringing your feet together in front. Getting your breath, bending your knees very deeply, like you're reaching for something on the floor. Leaving your knees bent, picking your hands up to your thighs, bringing them to your waist, and bringing them up. Now, this is my side. My teacher always says, take like you're sitting at Sunday best dinner with your upper torso, sitting in a chair, and you're having dinner with your parents. And so you've got yourself in the best position possible. And bring yourself back up, do a gentle back bend, and come on back down. And sit down. Once again, our time is slipping away from us. So take a few movements back and forth, sway your body. Feel how you feel. Is there a part in your body that still needs movement? Maybe your hands. Let's take your right hand and bring it out. Bend at the knee, bend at the elbow. Bring it out. Take your left hand, press on your fingertips and bend them down. Take a couple of breaths. And bring it back up. Take your thumb and your small finger together, and then your ring finger, and then your index finger, and then your pointer. Go the opposite direction. And let that hand loose. Bring the other hand out, bend at the elbow. Bring your right hand and take your fingers on your left hand and bend them down. And breathe. Let them go. Finger to pinky, to the ring finger, to the index finger, and to the pointer. Backwards. And let your hand come down. Take your hands, bring them together, and bring the outsides of your pinkies together. And hold the tips of your fingers gently as if you were holding a flower. And take your wrists and bring them back. And we're going to go up and down, touching as much as we can to the perimeters of our hands, all the way up. Now, circle them the other direction and bring them all the way down. And put them on your lap. How are you feeling? How are your shoulders? Do you need to shake them just a little? Go ahead. Maybe your head, back and forth, back and forth. Maybe up and down. All right. Now that truly is all I have time for on the poses. So let's begin to ready ourselves for our relaxation Shavasana pose. So take as deep a breath as you can and let it go. Let's take a few of those. Release your shoulders. Release your torso. Begin to close your eyes if you can. And let's begin to really shut down and slow down and integrate. Take a couple more deep breaths. Now let it go and just breathe like yourself. And begin to feel the peace of resting. There's nothing else you need to do. Know where you need to be, but right here, right now, breathing and resting. I'll let you know when it's time to stop. So go ahead and relax. Now slowly begin lengthening your breath. And noticing that your body wants to move in small ways. Go ahead and move those fingers. Go ahead and shake yourself around a little, or move yourself around a little. Wiggle your toes and your ankles. Maybe just bring those shoulders just a little. How do you feel? That's the important question. How does your body feel? Now relax. Come back to center. Lift up one leg. Stick it straight out. Bring it in and hug it. And bring it down. Pick up the other leg. Lengthen. Bring it in and hug it. And bring it down. Before we close, what I'd like to say is that it's not important how well you do the poses or how far you can bend or if you can touch your toes or not. What's important is how you feel inside. Are you beginning to feel your body shift just a little? If you've been practicing with me for the past few weeks, you may be feeling like you're able to do a little bit more, a little bit deeper. That all comes with time. Give yourself credit for showing up, for being here, for being willing to experiment with your breath and your body and new things. And with that, let's please take one deep breath and one deep Om. Raise your hands in the prayer position. Bow your heads gently. Salute that one being inside of you that recognizes how hard you work every day to be the very best person you can be, in the very best body you can achieve. Our higher consciousness wants only good for us. If we line ourselves up with that, it all unfolds. Be kind to one another and be kind to yourself. I hope you come back next week. Thanks for joining us. Deep breath in, out. Namaste. Thanks.